Hey guys, Marshall from Limited Resources, and we are doing, we're doing a little Gatecrash. It is pre-release time for Gatecrash on Magic Online, and I've been doing quite a few of these, and frankly, this is the time to play, man. All the noobs are out, people that don't, pay attention to stuff like set review shows and videos, and just kind of want to play around, and you can really clean up on them. So let's take a look at our pack. Well, we open one of the better creatures they've printed in a while. This guy's just a complete house. He's amazing. Obzidot is fantastic, and we are definitely going to be taking him. Let's look at what we're passing here. Angelic Edict, would love to get that back. Devour Flesh I would take as well. I've found Shielded Passage to be okay, but better if you're like attacking. I've been playing mainly Boros in these queues just because I found that people just aren't prepared for it. Early in a format, again, people that come online and they want to play because the format's new on here, but they don't really put in the time to do their homework. They don't, like I said, they don't listen to like my podcast or read articles or watch videos or whatever. It takes them a while to figure out which cards are really good and which ones aren't. And while they're messing around with stupid stuff like this, you can just smash them over the head with Boros cards. They're playing 3 or 4 color decks figuring, hey, I've got a Prophetic Prism, what could go wrong? And you just hit him in the face, So that's the kind of thing that this time frame is nice for when it's still brand new. I'm going to take Syndic of Tithes here. Simic Manipulator's okay, but it's pretty slow. And Thrall Parasite I'm not super stoked on. People seem to like it a little bit more than I do. Of course, my eyes are naturally going to Sky Knight, Legionnaire, and Active Treason, but Syndic is awesome. All right, we get an Orzhov Charm in the 3rd pick here, which is fantastic. There's also a Screecher. I really like the Spy. I think people are underrating him a little bit right now. But of the cards in this pack that actually we can take, it's Orzhov Charm, and that's not even remotely close. That card's actually really good. Okay, this pack's kind of bad for us. We have an interesting decision, though, so we can take an Angelic Edict and just go, and Angelic Edict is fine. It's not exciting. You certainly shouldn't be really happy to see an Angelic Edict, but at the same time, you do need removal, and it's not ridiculously costed, and it does just get the thing out of there. So I think that's what we're going to end up taking here, but other options, this guy's kind of boring. This is fine, but this is actually what I'm looking at, Aetherize. Splash and Aetherize isn't the worst case scenario for us. But, we need to pick up a Dimir Guildgate to make it work really well. It's just a very powerful card, but I'm just going to take the Edict and kind of keep it simple here. All right, looks like we're being cut a bit here. As I see, there's quite a bit of green flowing, a little bit of red, but like this guy's really good. Probably shouldn't be here. So I can take a Boros Guildgate in case we can splash for red. Or I could take a Corpse Blockade, which is fine. It's a fine card. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not very good. I mean, it's not like very great. I'm just going to take the Boros Guildgate here. All right, there's a Martial Glory. Midnight Recovery is like okay. You can start getting guys back after they've blocked and stuff, but you really hope that they would have traded, and if you just get him back to chump block turn after turn, it's not that great. I'm just going to take Gutter Skulk here. He gets in the way, basically. All right, not much here. There's really just not much here at all except for this. Leyline Phantom's okay as well, but I'm just going to take this blue card. All right, a Syndicate Enforcer's fine. He's a little awkward, but you're glad you have him, and he certainly beats down. All right, we did get the Edict back. We will take it. That's about all we really want for Edicts. Even running 2 of them makes me a little bit like, but it's fine. Yeah, this guy is ridiculous. I had him in a deck at F&M. It was sealed, and I opened him, and yeah, man, he was really good. Not much here. Just take a Millennial Gargoyle, I suppose. Pretty unexciting, though. Hopefully we can find something better to put in that slot. Lots of good cards in Orzhov, though. Things we might be looking for, like an Alms Beast would be fantastic. 1,000 Lashes is certainly high on our list. But Orzhov Charm is really, really good. It hurts you, so it's not the best, but really all you need is that middle ability. Destroy target creature and you lose life equal to its toughness. It's Vendetta. But the main thing is that it's cheap and it's instant speed. You know, I mean, how many times have you seen people lose to things like madcap skills? This is why you have this card. You just blow them out, and it's really hard for them to recover. I'm going to take Aerial and Maneuver here. Purge the Profane looks good because it's black-white, but it's actually not that great. Nothing terribly wrong with it, but Mind Rot for 4 with like a marginal upside isn't really something that I'm like excited to run. All right, nothing here. We'll just take this Scatter Arc. So our deck isn't really very good yet. We've got this, and we've got a couple of removal spells, but like, yeah, you know, Syndic is good. This is fine, but like, or this is good, but you know, it hasn't really come together. So hopefully we're going to pick up some key pieces here in the next pack. We really want just like a lot of playables in this middle part of our curve, especially we have no 3-drops yet, so sure. I haven't tried this Midnight Recovery yet. Somebody played it against me once and got a little bit of value, but I wouldn't say it was great. All right, let's see what we open for our next pack. Yeah, I'll keep them unhidden for now, I guess. Okay, well, our rare is a Wrecking Ogre, which isn't a card that I really want. I've played this in Boros a couple times now. It's okay. Like, the guy's fine. There's nothing wrong with that card. It can be a win condition if you Blood Rush it, and it can just be a big, hard to get in the way of creature otherwise. But for us, we've got a few options. There's an Undercity Informer, which is a really interesting card. I think this card could actually just be a win condition in and of itself. You would prefer to have some mill support where you can grind a few other cards away, a few other lands away, and then get them. But it certainly can be a win condition. And then we've got a Cartel Aristocrat, which is just okay. You have to sack dudes, and this deck doesn't really want to do that. I'm going to take Debtor's Pulpit. There's also a Death's Approach, Nav Squad Commandos, even a Skyjack, but I really like Pulpit. It's a great removal spell for keeping down basically anything that you need to, which is really good. All right, let's see what we have in this pack. You know, not a ton. We do have an on-color rare. It's an Undercity Plague. Target player loses 1 life, discards a card, then sacrifices a permanent. This one's tough for me to evaluate. It doesn't look that good to me on the surface, but man, I got to say, a guy played this against me, and you know, he had that one turn where he played it and then hit me, and it was like, geez, I had to sack 2 permanents, ditch 2 cards, and I lost a couple of life. Now, as it stood, I had only 2 cards left in my hand, but still, like, I don't know, 6 mana is really steep, though. Like, how often do they just have no cards? They sacrifice some land you don't care about, and then they just kill you, right? It doesn't, like, pump up your creature or do anything. I'm going to take the Syndic of Tides here. If this comes back, I'll probably play it. I am curious enough to try it out, but... Okay. Well, we got past a pretty big bomb here. Illuminate Primordial is great. It's a 4/7 Vigilance that comes into play with a Swords of Plowshares attached. It's just just get something. Now, it is 7 mana, so it's not exactly efficient in the sense that, you know, there are going to be games when you're going to have it in your hand and you can't cast it. But the times you do cast it, it's amazing. So I'm going to take it. Well, there's a Corpse Blockade here, and I think that's what I want. Another Sapphire Drake wouldn't be too bad, but our curve is already pretty high, and I want to make sure that if we do splash, it's really worth it, because I want to be able to cast Obsidian when you know, on time. So I'm going to take the Blockade here. It looks like the Blockade will do a pretty good job of making this game go longer, and right now with Obsidian and Luminate Primordial, that does seem to be what we want to do. All right, there's a Court Street Denizen, a Basilica Screecher, and a Dutiful Thrall. People seem really like Dutiful Thrall. I don't like it that much. I don't hate it or anything. I'll play it. There's also a Gateway Shade, which could be pretty good in our deck. If we end up being straight black-white, it could be like a 3/3 or a 4/4, which is actually pretty nice. We probably wouldn't run this Gate just to do it, but the Denizen is probably the card that we want to see the least on the other side of the table, and then the Basilica Screecher is totally fine, but it's better if you're doing things like this. I'm going to try out the Shade. I haven't actually played the Shade yet, so I'll try that out. Nav Squad Commandos or another Angelic Edict. I don't want the Millennial Gargoyle or the Beckon Apparition here. Nav Squad Commandos is fine. We've only got 10 creatures and it's a good defensive creature. I think I'm going to take that. Ooh, a Kingpin's Pet. That's awesome. Ooh, man, I want that. And a Balustrade Spy. Wow. So these are all quite nice. Obviously, we're not going to splash blue for anything really at this point. So it's either the pet or the spy, and I'm going to take the pet because it's cheaper. It still has 2 power in the air for flying, and it has extort, which is going to be important to keep us alive. Sweet. All right. Well, I was going to take this Basilica Guards, but we also got a Vizkopa Guildmage, and I like this card. It's not amazing, but it's good. We'll take it. And the Cartel Aristocrat came back along with another Commandos, but we're all stacked up at 5 drops here, so I don't think we need to take another one. I'm just going to take the Aristocrat. It can come in handy, and it is just a 2/2 for 2 as well, and that's not too bad. All right, so the Undercity Plague came back. I'm going to take it. I don't know if I'm going to run it. We're going to see how many... having this makes me a lot more excited about running it, but we'll see. None of these are particularly great. I'll just take the 3-drop. We need more 3-drops. I don't know if I'm going to run this particular one, though. None of these I care about, so I will take this one because it's the most annoying. Alright, we got the Thrall back anyway, so that's kind of nice. He might even make the cut here. He's certainly good against certain decks. He's much worse against others, but I kind of like him. Just not... I think people just maybe overrated him or are overrating him. I've seen people play him quite a bit against me, and it just hasn't been an issue, even against like the Boros decks that I've been drafting. All right. So we have a deck, and we've got another pack to go. So hopefully we can really refine this thing down and get some awesome stuff here. We've got some pretty mediocre stuff. Aerial Maneuver in our deck's not very good. Gutter Skulk's just whatever. I don't have this hidden. I'll hide it. Heck, I'm just going to start getting aggressive with the hides because we do need to know what we need. Oh, man. Well, we opened a Clan Defiance, which unfortunately we have just absolutely no way to splash. Which is really annoying because that's one of the best cards in the set. What else did we get here? Well, there's also a Ground Assault, which is sweet. Again, totally not on our radar here. This pack is just completely awful for us. That sucks. A Night Watch, another 5-drop, is basically the only card that we could even run. I'm not going to run. I might not even run the first one. I'm certainly not going to run the second. Yeah, there's just nothing here for us. I'm not going to play this card. We end up getting on average back like 1 1/3 cards or something. It's just not worth it if you're not on the full mill plan. I keep looking at this pack hoping that something pops up that I just missed, but there's nothing there. I'm going to take Clan Defiance just to cut it, which is super sad. Okay, what have we here? Okay, well, this pack's a little better, but certainly unexciting. There's an Enter the Infinite, which is really flashy and cool, but I don't think that it's worth any tickets. Let's find out. Yeah, it's worth like a ticket. So I don't think we need that. But a Night of Obligation seems fine to me. It's another 4-drop, which we kind of could use. And since we're not going to be super aggressive, I think Daring Skyjet goes down quite a bit. And I like the Knight a lot better than the Tiger. So yeah, let's take this Knight. Hold the Gates, Key Rune. There's a Smite. I'm going to take the Smite here. I think this Smite seems totally reasonable. I would even run the Orzhov Key Rune here because of our Primordial, but Smite's like a decent to good... It's actually just a good removal spell, so we could certainly use something like that. Alright, we've picked up a second Guild Mage, which is okay. There's really not much else. I feel like we're definitely fighting our neighbors here. I mean, Fathom Mage coming around. Not that it's like amazing. I think Fathom Mage is not that great, but it's okay. But there's great stuff in this pack. I mean, Slaughterhorn's sweet. Alright, but we're going to take the Guild Mage. Okay, there's a pet, so that's pretty good. There's also a Court Street Denizen, but I like the pet better because it can attack well on its own. But even if it's not, it's still doing something, where the Denizen really doesn't attack that well on its own, and it really wants you to have be aggressive. It wants you to be attacking. Because tapping down the guy on your turn and not attacking doesn't do anything. Thrall Parasite or Dutiful Thrall. There's also a Prophetic Prism, although I don't really see the reason for that here. Thrall Parasite or Dutiful Thrall. Dutiful Thrall is better with Smite, although we only have the one. I'll take the Thrall. I mean, I'll take this Thrall, I should say. This is kind of interesting, though. Yeah, maybe I will try this guy out. I'll try this one. Ooh. Man, a Smite or an Herbis Protector. We've got tons of creatures right now, but we've got some ones that are just really not that great in here. This one's just okay. We might still run it, though. Aristocrat probably doesn't make the cut. It might. We've already got another sack outlet here. This is a very solid 6-drop. Makes a 4/4 and a 1/1, and if you can get it back, you can do it again. But I'm going to take the Smite here. I think the Smite is going to do a better job of making this game go long, and I really feel like that's what we want to do. All right, I'll take this Confessor. It's not that impressive, but it does have Extort, and it can nab, a key bomb or something, so that's pretty nice. Nothing here. Again, this is that pack that we opened, but maybe we'll have to decide if we want Nav Squad Commandos or Night Watch. They serve different roles. I had in that seal deck I mentioned, I had 2 of each of those, and I started 1 of each, and then I would switch over to 2 of the same depending on what my matchup was. Some decks really hate to see 2/2/2 Vigilance, and some decks really hate to see that 3/5, so it just kind of depends on which is which. Yeah, I think the Dutiful Thrall is probably better than the Thrall Parasite with the double Smite, but we only had 1 at the time, and I really do want to try this guy out. I've played against him once. He just extorted me a couple times and then died, which I hope he doesn't do for us, but he might. I'm going to take this Tiger here. I'm probably not going to start him, but I'll run him in there if we run up against Boros or something that we think he can actually do something against. There's really nothing here. I'll take this Purge. We're not going to play it. So we need to make a couple of cuts. We need to cut a couple of creatures, basically. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, that'll be nice, actually. We do have a few tough things. I'm going to cut this Aristocrat. I'm not that impressed by it. It's basically a bear. I mean, it can do some things, but, the problem is that, what you really want is, with a card like that, is a deck that has a lot of expendable creatures, things like tokens. Maybe it makes some tokens, a card that can generate useless tokens or multiple little tiny tokens, 1/1s on the ground or something. All right, so Thrall, the Syndics are in for sure. This might go in, I don't know. Knight's in, the Tiger's not. Both Edicts are in, and the Pulpit is in. And then I'm not sure if I want to run this or none of those. So let's just take a look here. I'm going to try this guy out because I want to try him out. That's it. Blockade, yes. I want to try the Shade. No. Yeah. And not going to try that one yet. All right, so Charm, couple of Guild Mages, couple of pets. Oops, I just did something else. No, I don't want that. I want to try that one. That puts us at 21. With 15 creatures. Yeah, I just wish we had a couple more pieces of removal. A 1,000 Lashes or something instead of having to take this stupid Clan Defiance would have been sweet. Something like that. But even then, I think we're okay. We've got Orzhov, Charm, and these, and 2 Edicts, so it's not... And also the Pulpit acts as removal. So we have answers in our deck. I am going to run 18 lands in this deck as well. I think that 18 lands is going to be correct because we do have... Let's see how many we've got. 1, 2... get back here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So we've got 8 things with extort. So we are going to have places to put that extra mana when we flood out a little bit. So I think we definitely want that. Also, we're very heavy on 5 drops, and we have a 7 in our deck, so I don't see any issue with running 18 lands here. The question is, what do we want for this last slot? Probably one of our 5 drops again. This guy's certainly questionable. Like, I don't think I would normally run him, but I haven't played him yet, and I want to try him. So that's why we're doing that. Otherwise, I'd probably just put this guy in or this, just one of these other 5s. I'd rather not put in another 5 drop. Like, I could see just playing a rat, just doing this. Or, oops, whoa, where'd he go? Is he over here? Oh, here you are. Get back in there. Or just doing the Cartel Aristocrat, because it can, it definitely has the ability to do cool things. Like, we could just do this. I like jamming as many cheap spells as I can when we have this much extort. We have quite a few heavy hitters over here, but basically I'm not willing to cut any of these 4 because the Pulpit and the Edicts are our main answers to Gruul decks or anything huge. And the Confessor, again, I just want to try out. If we resolve him once and we're like, oh my god, this guy sucks, and we'll just pull him in between games. It's just early in the format. This is when you do it. This is when you put in stuff to figure out if it's good or not. Same thing with this Thrall Parasite. Basically, the question with this guy is a 1/1 for 1 with Extort good enough? Like, how good is Extort? That's what we're asking. So we will find out. I've played a few Extort decks now, so I have a pretty good feel for it, but I'm not 100% sure on that. We're going to go with 9/8 here. Definitely 9/8. We are spread basically evenly. We can take a look. 20 and 13, so we want to skew it up so that we have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so 10 white and then 9 black. So, yep, here we go. Let's see what we can do with our Orzhov deck.